Woo! It's Fans of Patrol time. We are back. I'm your host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my wonderful co-host, Ms. Tifflebot. How are you doing this week, Tiff?
Great, and I just saw that the live is confirmed. We are live. I can see it. We're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. See, so we're live idiots here because I just can't. I can't make things smooth with this stuff, right? We were supposed to be live last week, and I didn't realize we weren't until it was over.
Yeah, and I also I think halfway through I was like, I don't think we're live, but you can't halfway through be like, excuse me.
I know. So here's
we could have, but it was too late,
Well, here's the frustration with that, right? Because we don't go live, and then that means I spend the rest of my afternoon putting out the show and making it better and all this other stuff, and it just sucks, So
and there's you get the button up all the way at the top, so even if it's close to perfection, we got to get godly about it.
Damn right. I'm sorry.
But if it's live, you just wash your hands of that shit. You're like, bye bye.
Exactly. I'm trying.
Bye bye. I'm free.
I'm trying not to use my trackpad, and it's like giving me hell. So this week, man, what are we doing?
One battle after another.
I thought we were doing Melania. I thought we was doing Melania. I'm just playing.
Fuck you. Because before you put that up there, you said that. I thought that you weren't going to say Melania. I thought you were going to say something else. Did you see the look on my face?
Yeah. That was real.
The wrong movie.
That was.
You guys, there has been at least once in the past where we watched.
Yeah.
Different movies on accident.
Yeah, but we were so slick and so smooth. We just reviewed 2 movies that day.
So I'm like, whoo. Anyway, Melania making money.
It made what? $8 million, and
that's actually surprising because you would have thought it'd make not any money, but
well,
we all know what things mean.
No, they're starting to think that just rich friends are purchasing whole.
Yeah, when you there's been people who were trying to release records and then they would just buy a bunch of records so that they could get pumped up.
Yeah. Nobody's being fooled by your trickery, you clowns. Nobody wants to see that shit.
Excuse me.
Not even her. I bet you her own friends don't even want to go see it.
I don't even know if she wanted to be in it. I mean, she likes money.
Come on, that lady. Come on. She thinks she's so hot, walking around looking like a stone-faced Skeletor.
That hat that she wears is so scary.
That hat,
that she wore over in England, where it's just like.
The funniest shit that I saw about that hat is somebody says, "Why is she trying to take Kung Lao style?"
Yeah. Oh my God! Stop. It is like that. It is exactly like that.
That's her Halloween costume. She's kind of loud for Halloween or Raiden, right?
You just wearing your hat and not even look at anybody. Be nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm in my hat.
So we are not here to talk about dumbass Melania and Trump. We are here to talk about, as Tiff said, one battle after another. So this is what we're doing. There is a method to our madness. We realized this movie came out a while ago, but then I started thinking about the Oscars, and I was like, hey, some of these movies I wanted to see and never got around to it. Not all of them, because there's some of those.
Some of them are questionable shit.
Yeah, I'm like, no, no.
That one's a no.
Right, but so we said we'll see some of these movies on a journey to the Oscars whenever that is. I think it's sometime in February, right, for the Oscars or something like that.
Coming up here soon.
Yeah, and so next week we're gonna do F1 because who knew that movie was an Oscar contender, man? I had no idea. It is.
I will say more background, more off-screen stuff. Montego texted me. He's like, "We'll go F1. We can do one battle after another because those are some Oscar contenders. And we've already seen Sinners." And I had heard, yeah, and I had heard that contender for like Best Picture is basically going to come down to One Battle After Another and Sinners. So if we didn't see any, if we didn't manage to see any other ones, I would like to see at least the other one that's going to be the major contender. And then I found out that it was 2 hours and 45 minutes long. And I thought, I'm going to die.
You think about pulling an audible sometime during this weekend?
I almost texted you and was like, can't make it.
Maybe we should do F1 this week.
Is it too late to say F1?
Right. Right.
Although I don't know how long F1 is. It's probably long too.
I have no idea, but
Actually,
I did have genuine interest in seeing it. And Apple, when they released it, I said, "Oh, it's Apple. It'll be on the screen in about 2 weeks." Man, they kept that in the theaters for months,
making money.
Yeah. So this week we're doing Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another. And funny enough, Tiff, it's kind of rough. I didn't mind. I kind of did mind the length when I saw it, but then I said it's gonna be fine. So
F1, F1 2 hours 35. So
same thing.
Different. Never.
And Sinners was like what, 3 hours? So
it doesn't matter because it's a masterpiece. Okay, you don't notice when it's good. But I will say before we get too much into it, this movie goes pretty fast. This 2 hours and 45 minutes goes.
You do not feel it. You do not feel it. So this is like just like Sinners. Like you will not feel the 2 hour 45 minutes. It was really nicely packed. And
it was kind of like
any scenes were like wasted or nothing. So let's talk about some of the things that we like to talk about here. So, Tiff, I went to the old Rotten Tomatoes to see where this thing stands. It's
Oscar
contender. And these Oscar movies normally, in my opinion, I think this like the audience score and stuff be like completely different. When it comes, to these
like to the artsy fartsy, like this is good because it's art.
Exactly. So we have a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, and we have an 85% audience score. So I'm like, and I would agree.
Right up there, peak and peak.
Yeah, I'm like, yes. So that was interesting. So it did go to the theaters, and now I got to watch it. Not for free. I'm paying for it on.
Oh, I watched it on HBO Max for free.
Well, but HBO Max is not free.
Correct. I'm so sorry. Whenever I think I make this mistake a lot on this show where I feel like I don't pay any more money. Sometimes, like you're already paying for a Prime, and then it costs me $20 to rent it, and I'm like, you can get wrecked because that sucks.
Yeah, right. So, box office, man, numbers from Box Office Mojo, which don't have how much they put into the movie, but Tiff does a good job at always grabbing that. So 72 million domestic, 136 million worldwide. Bringing that ain't that something? Bringing that up to $208 million. There's some change in there, like 2,800. Blah blah blah, 80. I mean, so yeah, man. So,
but let me tell you,
$200 million.
And you will be fucking shocked. Because I want you to guess how much you think it cost us to make this movie.
Okay, we got Sean Penn, we got Leonardo DiCaprio. He's probably
there's some big names.
Yeah, he's bad enough right there. So Sean is probably still not cheap. So I'm thinking they made I'm gonna be honest and say probably $90 million.
130 to 175 million.
Damn. So
barely made any scratch, basically.
Well, that's because you paying these bastards too much.
You really are. Because, like, when you look at this movie, you guys, I'm not saying that, like, this movie doesn't look great, but there's not a lot of, like...
There are no special effects.
There's no special effects. There's nothing that looks super expensive.
There's stunts because of guns and,
Sure. There's, like, some running stunts, some jumping stunts, some fire stuff.
Yeah, there's no CGI. There's no special effects. There's no... The practical effects, what they had a stunt when he jumped out the car. I mean, of course, they had some parkouring and stuff going on. So there's some stunts, but there were no
not effects. Like $100 some odd million.
Dude, that's all salary. That got to be salary. What you think? I think that's salary.
I agree. It's got to be a lot of salary. I did actually... Because I was, not to be any type of way about it, but this is sort of, no getting around that this is a movie that's making a political statement, okay? And I wondered about the casting of...
Without it being in your face, though. And we'll get into that.
Sure. But I wondered about the casting of Leonardo DiCaprio because, I mean, like, last year he went to Jeff Bezos' wedding.
He probably made $46 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he made the movie cost that much money because he took all the money.
he probably made $46 million on this thing. I'm just saying it
Ooh,
straight up. I bet you. I mean,
give me $46 million.
yeah. Matter
I
of fact,
want
no,
money.
no. Let me earn my $46 million.
Nope, nope. Listen, I'm to the point now. Just give me.
Just give me. Fine. I'll take it. Someone has to win.
So, yeah, somebody's got to. Oh
So
shit.
yeah, so lots of money, man. Lots of money. Let's see. We did the critics. So let's see. Action oh, excuse me. Action epic, dark comedy, epic,
Yes. Dark
political
comedy.
thriller, psychological thriller.
Damn.
I don't agree
Nah,
with
psychological.
I don't agree with that.
In the way that all things are sort of psychological when you get down to it.
Action crime drama is what it's labeled as.
Wow. Everything under the sun.
Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Mr. Anderson. So really quickly, 2025, when enemy,
Excuse
geez,
me.
I need my. Let's see, when their enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of ex-revolutionaries unite to rescue the daughter of one of their own. So very simple, and that's it.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, that's it. So Tiff,
Who's in this movie?
so who is in this movie, Tiff?
Well, we already discussed about Leo DiCaprio. He's here,
Yeah,
looking
so,
like his old self.
looking like a bag of shit. But go ahead.
Here's the thing. Listen, this is from Queen Puffy herself. I am not like judging, but he at one point got real puffy because I think cocaine. I think that makes your face real puffy.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I think everyone in Hollywood does cocaine. These are all unfounded rumors. Please look elsewhere.
Okay.
But he seems to seem a little bit less like that now. So I think maybe. And then Sean Penn, who we've also previously mentioned, Benicio del Toro. I know. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Benicio was almost unrecognizable.
I love him.
He was almost unrecognizable, man. I was like, "Is that Benicio del Toro?" Because I didn't.
Is that him?
I think that's Benicio del Toro. But see, there's another. He gets paid.
Big name. He gets paid.
Yeah.
Regina Hall.
Regina Hall, who's like cooking up everything right now. I mean,
Yep.
she is everywhere. I watched her on Saturday Night Live. She wasn't terrible.
Yeah, some people who are really good actors don't do well on Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Infinity, that's Willa. So Wood Harris, Alana Haim.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry, not Regina Hall. That was Tanya Taylor.
Tiana Taylor.
Right, that's who I saw on Saturday Night Live. I'm sorry.
Oh, and she was like decent.
Oh yeah, she was all right. She's everywhere though right now. Tiana Taylor is everywhere.
Yeah, she's
But
getting.
that's what I thought you was talking about.
But that's Regina Hall.
She is also doing a lot. But go ahead.
Paul Grimstad,
Yeah.
Shayna McHale,
Mm-hmm.
Tony Goldwyn. There's a lot of like John Hugenacker, Starletta Dupois,
Yeah.
Eric Schweg, D.W. Moffat. God, there's a lot of people. Kevin Teague, Jim Downey, Dijon Duenas,
Yeah.
Dan Cheriton, John Beavers, and Jenna Maloney.
I just want to say really quickly, man, that
I love Jenna Maloney.
the black actresses in this movie fucking wrecked it.
But they were going.
I was like, damn.
They were fucking mesmerizing. And honestly, sometimes when they were off the screen, I was like, who cares?
Yeah, the black
Get this
actresses,
fucking guy out of here.
they were beating ass in this thing, man. I was like, damn. Yeah. So before we go any further.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
What's yawn? Okay, good. Okay.
Oh, you about to
I thought I was gonna yawn, and I held it back. I was managed to hold it back. My one word is anxiety.
Explain.
Woo! This movie gave me anxiety.
Why is
Because
that?
it just,
Yeah,
first of all, it's pretty intense. Like what they're all going through is really, really intense.
Yes.
You know? And then people are like getting caught, guys. They're getting grabbed.
Yeah.
And so there's that. The whole plot of the movie itself is an anxiety-inducing situation. But on top of that, the movie sort of just like, the beginning is like, I guess I would categorize that as the slowest part, but it kind of just goes.
But
Like there's not a lot of downtime.
The beginning was very intense. So yeah.
Right. So there's not like it just starts. There's no part where you go, there's the break, here's the interlude. It just kind of go, and you don't have time to like relax your little rat heart.
Yeah, yeah,
It's beating fast.
yeah. So, man, let's get into it. So, movie starts, and it's so interesting. Oh, my one word. Oh
Yes,
shit,
yes, yes.
my one word was Oh God, I didn't
I'm
pull it
sorry.
away. No, I've been up the whole day. I was like, this is my one word. This is my one word. But I kind of lost it. So I gotta pick a new one word out of the blue. But my one word would just be fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because the pacing was fast, the action was fast, the acting was rock solid, man. Now I will say this: I didn't really see any standout performances in this like I did like in Sinners. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like whoa, like nobody really like had me like oh, you know what I'm saying? Like the mother in the Marvel movie we watched
Yeah.
last week.
That
Nobody
you're
had
just, that
me
you're just
like
like, get me on, back on the screen.
right, but I'm not saying they weren't doing a fantastic
Right.
job
You
because they
don't
weren't.
watch this and go, okay, here's a weak link. But you're not like, I would say the most standout for me is probably Benicio del Toro. He's not on the screen very much. And
Mhm,
I think that and it's kind of like one of those things where it's less like the acting and more like I enjoy that his character is pretty cool.
mhm.
So it's hard for me to be like, which
Yeah,
is it? You know,
yeah,
chicken or the egg?
yeah. And the movie was so relevant, for what's happening today, and it unapologetically like even peering back into the with the cabal and people running things from behind the scenes. No, this shit is not surprising to anybody no more. You know what I'm saying? So the movie didn't like make it its business to make a statement in that sense because nothing was like, look at this shit going on behind the scenes, and look how these
It's
federal
just
agents.
accepted.
It is, man. It is, and I felt that when I was watching it because I wasn't surprised by any of it. I'm looking at this and I'm like, we got to tear this shit down. All this shit got to go. You know what I'm saying? I was like, because I watched this, I live and breathe in this shit,
Hmm.
all the time. I'm very political. Tiff knows it, and it's in my bones. Just so y'all know, I'm not one of those guys. I literally went to college for political science, right?
Hmm.
So I've lived and breathed this shit my whole life. So I'm always involved, no matter who's in charge. Whatever party is winning. And so when I see this stuff, nothing was surprising, and I really like that if it wasn't like in your face trying to make a statement. That it wasn't trying to make a statement. It was really giving you an entertaining ride, and how like not
And
how
then the statement just sort of exists.
the statement exists, and it wasn't like trying to say look how bad these people are, look how bad these people are. So it was a hearken call to like the 60s revolutionary groups because this shit really is not going on right now like it is like now the border trafficking is definitely going on. That's a real thing. And but like all the bombings and stuff because this was the 60s, right? You had all these radical groups like that was tired of this shit that the government's doing. Not to say this shit couldn't start tomorrow, because if it would, Tiff, I would not be surprised because of the way things are in this country right now. So this movie did a really, really good job at placing us in the here and placing us in the now. The only obstacle that I saw, and I'm gonna let you talk, the only
Yeah.
obstacle, like at the beginning of this movie, is the heyday of this operation, right? And
Hmm.
so, like, they're busting into this ICE facility. They're rescuing, all these people from detainment, and I'm like, I wonder how long ago this was supposed to be, right?
Right.
Because I know in the story it's about the teenage girl when she gets older, so 16
Right.
years later, and I'm like, I was sitting here like this is now. This is right now. you
And
know?
I think that when you watch the story, I think that like there's some things that you notice that are sort of weird about it as far as like okay, so everyone who's on like the group is called like the French 75
You're 75, right?
and they all have like code names.
Yep.
Um
Smart. They
but
were very smart.
but even the people who are the real people in this movie who wouldn't necessarily have a code name have strange names. And I think that's intentionally supposed to lend you sort of a timeless quality where it's like almost like borderline like a fairy tale. It's not, but like his name is like Lockjaw, like ridiculous, like sort of to say like this is anytime anywhere
It's so
sort of
funny.
situation.
It's so weird with Lockjaw bringing him up. That's the Sean Penn character. I'm like, that's Gregory Bobino right there. And I was like, this dude he's doing the Gregory Bobino bullshit right there. And so they're blowing shit up. They rescue the
Yes.
people. It's kind of almost like a montage, and it's really really they got this sexy thing going on because Tiana Taylor is like
She's
walking
she's
around.
she's sexy for the boom.
She's sexy like
I
a
couldn't get
motherfucker,
the word out for the bomb. For the
right?
for the boom.
Right. And the more violence that happens, that occurs, like the more action. I think she's addicted to action too, because
Yeah,
the
the
more
adrenaline.
action and violence that occurs, the more she gets sexed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
she wanted to have like, she's a Leonardo DiCaprio character. His name is he's got like a couple different names. Bob.
Bob, yeah,
Um, and she is his like lover,
wife, one or the other.
wife,
Yeah.
whatever. And there's a point where he's like setting a bomb off, and she's like, "No, let's have sex
Yeah, she
while
wanted to
the
sit right
bomb
there, and
goes."
I'm like, oh my god,
And he's like,
it was
"No,
it was pretty hot.
let's
It was
leave."
pretty hot. But so it's very important in this opening scene. She encounters Colonel Lockjaw, and he's like at the border. She's gonna wrap him up, but she gets really, really rapey, really, really quickly.
Yeah, she makes him get a boner.
Yeah, which is that's impossible, y'all. That shit. That's
So this was real super uncomfy.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I know I'm supposed to be uncomfortable. I'm not stupid.
But I
But
didn't
like
really understand that she actually had an attraction for this guy. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know if that was I couldn't quite tell if that was like what do you want to say, like protection to try to like
No,
to
because
try to stay safe.
and I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, so they have just to skip ahead. He catches her right, and she does
Hmm.
that sexy thing where she should have just murdered him. She had plenty of time. Like
Right.
I mean, and
And she didn't care.
right. She wasn't that character that would have gave a shit to blow this dude head off, but she goes in there, into the hotel and blows this dude. She could have murdered him right there. So
Hmm.
obviously they carried on for a while. So I think she really was, getting in love with this dude, man. Because I'm like, why wouldn't she just take care of that? Why didn't she tell them that this dude caught her and stuff and know who they are?
Right.
You know,
But then she ended up okay, so like not she gets pregnant.
yeah. So let's get back on track just a little bit. So
Yeah.
this happens, this all this shit happened. They doing shit, y'all. They doing shit. But then she gets pregnant, right? And that was the worst prosthetic I think I've ever seen. It looked
Yeah, I was like, she does not look like a pregnant person.
she didn't walk,
She's also very small.
and she didn't really walk good. Like her movements
Yeah,
when she's
she
pregnant,
just acted like a regular person. But when you're that pregnant, she was super
yeah,
pregnant.
she looked
It's
like
not
she having a
easy.
prosthetic tiff.
Yeah, she
Especially
looked like
I was
it
like,
looked really fake. It
this
looks
looks
really
real bad.
fake.
This looks real bad. And could you cover that
Um,
goddamn thing up because I don't want to see it? You know what I'm
because
saying?
she was like, so she's like, and she's feeling like she's gonna lose, this part of herself because now she's becoming a mom. Um,
She wasn't
and
interested in him, and she was jealous of the baby, which happens a lot. That's a real thing. And so
yeah, like I mean, and I think so. She's saying, you don't see me, you don't pay attention to me, and then, um,
but he was just being responsible. I like the old ladies, the conversation he had with her mom and her auntie. They was like, what are you doing here? Now I know you're a revolution and all this shit, but
yeah, he was like, she's wild, you're an office man.
yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
were doing the bombs basically, but like he was like kind of like very regular dude. Like, yeah, this is young people stuff, and now we have a baby, and it's baby time, which is
So
true. The baby was relying on you.
this revolutionary
That
group,
baby
mhm,
is fucking cute. I don't
yeah,
know. They were like, let's get the cutest baby and
mhm,
put it in that little basket. I was like, you rotten fucks. I'm terrified for this baby,
right,
even though I know that
right,
she makes it because it happens later in the movie.
exactly, exactly. So you know, so she's carrying on with this dude. She has the baby. I didn't think for a moment that the baby might have been his because the depth of how much they were screwing around, I wasn't really that clear with me. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
was like, and then I thought that something might have happened where she may, you know, be like,
That it
haha,
was his.
I was springing a trap this whole time on this guy, and I
Right.
kept it close to the vest, but that never happened. So she gets busted, y'all. She gets busted,
And she
and
rats.
I was so surprised. I didn't think that
I
was going to
was
be her character.
too.
You
It
know?
didn't seem consistent with the character.
It really, really
And
didn't.
let's say I'm going to skip ahead way to the end of the story because this part I feel is relevant. The character never really comes back. So it doesn't really make sense that she like I guess it like adds some tension, but it doesn't really play out in the movie very well.
Right.
And it doesn't make sense with her character.
So let's talk about this bank robbery we've seen when she gets nabbed. So I, this crew that they had that was actually like wielding these guns, I wouldn't take any of them seriously. You know what I'm saying? They all, I'm like, y'all really don't look like revolutionaries. Just the, you know. And when I say revolutionary, the shit that the cause they were fighting for was all righteous, in my opinion. They were on the right side, and it's really easy to see how this, line can and will be crossed eventually. I was looking on TikTok this week, and Giancarlo Esposito basically said the shit out loud, like, "Look, revolution is coming, y'all. Y'all think it's not, and people will die. It might be 5 million here, 5 million there, but at the end of the day, all this shit that y'all think y'all covering is gonna go away." And I was like, "Damn, he said it." And I'm like, we all been thinking that shit for the longest, and it's just like, you guys, with the oppression, the shit that they was fighting for in the movie was the same stuff that people are upset. And if you check national polls, it's almost getting cemented. Like it's like 70%. Unfavorable. The opposite way for a lot of the policies that's going on. And so to me, it's had such super relevance because this shit ain't nothing new. Whoever wrote this knew, just all you had to do is look back in the 60s and see what was happening. People started doing this shit. There were so many revolutionary groups, especially because of the war that had in Vietnam.
Yeah.
You had the Black Panthers, you had like all these groups out there that, hell, what's her name was in one of them? What was the actress, Let's Get Physical, the Jane Fonda, right? She was in one of them. So moving on. So she gets busted. And Tiff, when she was talking about you got to get me out of here, and then she went to witness protection, I almost couldn't believe my eyes. I was like,
I was shocked. And I know that like I guess it had like what I'm saying like earlier was like it added something to the movie, I guess. But like it didn't make any sense because as soon as she did it, as soon as she was there,
right?
she was like, I'm gonna leave.
It felt very inconsistent.
It
Right?
didn't feel right. I don't feel like that character would have. You don't like abandon your
She was the
child,
worst one. She was
like
the
yeah,
worst one.
like for the revolution, and then
Right.
also be like, and now I'm gonna rat everyone out. So because of that, he had to take the baby
She
and
wasn't.
run.
She wasn't even protecting him, right? Because she's.
Yeah, she like turned everybody.
Yeah. They
It
were
was
all.
like, and so they were like, okay, here's what they gave him all the secret
I
stuff,
loved
like
all
the
this shit. I loved all
yeah,
this.
here's
All
your
this stuff.
little
Yeah.
like how you identify,
Yes.
here's your paperwork, here's your other stuff. Um
I loved it.
and
That was some of my favorite stuff. All the secret code words and the secret sayings and all that stuff.
and
Cool.
I did not foresee what would happen to our main character, but so we kind of this is where and I was wondering because this is about 30-40 minutes into the movie and I was like I thought it was about his daughter.
It is, and I
And
was
it
waiting for it
is.
to happen, and then so when I had the same thoughts, and I was like, well, it is damn near 3 hours long, so just
Yeah, so we got some time.
hold on to your cheeks.
The full
But
2 hours. We got a whole movie length.
y'all, let me tell y'all, this did not feel belabored. It wasn't
Right.
too
You're
much of it.
correct.
The backstory was not too much. It was very good, very entertaining, and I started loving all them black actresses that was doing all they little side stuff. I was like, man, they
Let me
some
tell
really
you,
good actresses, man.
the nuns, love
Oh,
them.
the nuns was hardcore, right?
Fucking love those nuns. It was amazing. So we see they're living so and things even within this like context where they kind of skip forward, we see a little bit of what their life is like together.
It looked like they were living in what's
They're living like
Portland,
off the grid, kind of like in a dump.
but it looked like Portland. You know what I'm saying? It looked like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
like like Pacific Northwest or whatever.
yes,
Like
it
looks
looked
like
like that. Except for without
uh,
the rain. I was waiting for the rain,
pines
but
and
they were
stuff,
definitely
and
someplace where there was like deserts, right? Because they wasn't that far away from the desert. It didn't
right.
seem like it, to me. So, damn, yeah, it's a nasty ass looking trailer park is what it looked like.
Yeah, and like, but they're kind of like alone. Was my assumption. Now, here's the thing: we see their life together very briefly, and it's enough to know that like
I
she's
did
really
know the girl.
responsible.
She was very happy though.
Yeah,
You
she's a
know,
happy girl.
when she was doing her kung fu and stuff, I was like,
Yeah,
She is
She
like,
seemed accomplished, collected together. She like loves her dad, but she thinks, God damn, I'm taking care of you when I'm a child.
yeah, she definitely was the adult. He was not. Him and
Right.
that damn robe, y'all. If I could
The robe.
that
The
damn robe.
fucking robe. The raggedy ass robe. Okay, you guys. So I will.
Oh yeah,
So
talk about the robe, man.
the movie does a little bit of really good character setting in a short amount of time by having her friends show up, and she's got this kind of eclectic group of friends. One of them's like non-binary, um a bunch of other like just different folks. She's like part of this
He
crowd, and
called the little dude essay and shit. I'm like, God damn it, dude. I'm like, God
and
damn
I
it.
think he gives the vibe of like somebody who used to be like in the know of how to speak to people,
Little
but no
tough and stuff,
longer
but
knows how. A homie. He calls all a lot of people a homie as well. And so like he's like, treat my daughter right and blah blah. So you know that like well, obviously loves her. So they do all this in very quick succession because you guys, that's all we get of like how like establishment of the domestic life. We see her doing like the karate with Benicio del Toro's sensei character,
yeah, what
and
was
then that's it.
he
The
had it
guy
going
is
on.
on his way.
He had it going on. He was in the know. Sensei's Sergio Saint Carlos was his name, and so he had it going on. But so they go to the dance, and then we get back with Lockjaw, who is up to
Join
join.
a secret society.
No, I thought he was gonna get in trouble when he said, "I know what this is about," and they brought him in the back door with that goofy hairdo he had.
The hair, you guys, when you guys, like just Montego right now, but whoever's listening, he
No,
sticks that comb in his mouth.
they
I
all
was,
and started brushing his hair. So he was like the dude. He reminded me of Gregory Bobino. What's his name? Bobino, that Bordazar character they just fired. He reminded me of him so bad because he's short, stocky. He had the little. He was the epitome of a jackboot right wing Gestapo like thug, right?
yes,
And so
and
what a piece of shit. And so
piece of
I
shit.
was I did not see why this fine sister was screwing this dude, man. It made no sense
That
to me.
it was. Listen, we
Made
don't
no
know.
sense to me. It made no
No
sense.
sense. No sense. So then they ask him all these questions like Nazi. Have you ever
I love
had
that
an
it was
interracial relationship?
I love that it was related to Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everything
like
the
this
Christmas
they called the
holiday.
Saint Nicholas or whatever
Yes,
it was.
yes,
And here's the thing.
yes.
This I will say this movie is so long that so there's a guy who's sort of like the initiate, and he's obviously in the White House or something like that. Excuse me. And so like he's like asking him all these questions. Then it goes away for excuse me, I'm so sorry about these hiccups. But like he comes back later, obviously, because it's part of the problem. And then they're playing Christmas music. And it had been so
So
long since
loud.
I'd seen them
It
that I
was
was
so
like,
loud.
why the fuck are they playing
Me
Christmas
too.
music?
Me too. I was like, is it Christmas time? Oh,
That's what I thought. I thought this movie takes place during Christmas, and then I
no,
was like, "Oh, that's right. It's the
like
whole Saint Nick thing. They're
the
going
whole
to the
thing.
secret
Exactly.
society."
And I
So
had to catch up. I had to catch up too, Tim.
yeah,
I really
it
did
took
have
me
to
a
catch
minute because I was like, "Huh, I didn't know this is a Christmas movie."
up. Who
Uh,
gives a fuck about Christmas? You know?
so basically, what happens is because he was initiated, or he's going to get initiated into this, he needs to clean up those loose ends, and he knows.
Yeah, they just assumed you wasn't banging black chicks, man. You know, or
Right.
any
And,
others.
and
Like
he
that
said,
was
yeah,
one of
there
the
was only
rules.
white, all white. And like to make sure that you were white since the beginning. Like he had to say, like, has your whole family like been white?
Yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
like that. And he was like, yes, 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 you know what I mean? But then he knows that that girl might be his daughter.
I mean, literally, he was watching her wield the gun around and beating off while she was
Yes.
out there doing her stuff. And I'm like, this dude is a sick puppy. And then
A sick puppy.
like confronts the husband in the store because he's so jealous that she comes home to him at
Yeah,
night.
that was one of the most uncomfortable scenes. They say like, do you like black girls, right? And then he is like, I
Yeah,
love black girls.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
if someone said that to you in like you'd be like,
The fuck
I would
away
just
from
get
me,
get
Tom.
the fuck away from yeah. Like and Leonardo DiCaprio just is like, which I mean it fits with his character's character's kind of a goof. It's
God,
crazy that
his
it's
character
crazy.
was fucking goofball, man.
Yeah,
So
it's
let's
crazy that like he made the bombs and stuff, and like he becomes like this kind of hippie pothead guy who, as we talked about, is always wearing this like shitty, ratty, stripy robe.
he fell in love with the booty in college somewhere, and no matter what she was doing, he was going up, he
He
was
will
going with
follow.
her.
He will make sure.
Yeah, yeah,
He will
yeah.
learn to make bombs.
But he was a revolutionary, even like because
Yeah.
okay, so let's catch back up. So he's at her school, and
And he's
this is
high as fuck.
high as hell. But talk about here, you got a lot of slave owners in here. You got Benjamin Franklin, he's a slave owner. You know?
Yeah.
I was
And he's like,
"What's
I hope you teach the right kind of history.
this?" Right?
And she's like,
And then he started crying. You know,
yeah.
I was like, oh, he's a.
Shit, he's a mess. He's
It was
a
highly
fucking
entertaining,
mess.
you guys. Y'all gotta know. It was highly,
That's the
highly
thing.
entertaining.
I will say that most of the time when somebody says that something's a black comedy, to me, it typically indicates that the movie is supposed to either just be a regular drama or a comedy, and they didn't succeed at either one. There are definitely times in this movie that are
He was
fucking funny.
He was
And
funny,
this
man.
is like one of them.
He
Like
was
when
funny
he's
the whole
crying in the
time.
class. Yeah, he's very, very funny. His character is funny. He really cares about his daughter, and he's gonna do whatever it takes to get her back.
So
Um,
they nabbed a girl. He gets a task force. They do all this fake shit like Minneapolis. Like, we're gonna do this and do this. Just so he can, and they say, look, we don't care what you do your thing. White boys found out that he was hiding his secret, and they had a meeting behind his back, Tiff, and then they sent somebody to go take care of the whole thing and clean it. And I was like, this some cold as ice shit. I was sitting
mhm.
there, Tiff, I was like, this some cold shit,
They-
boy.
I mean, he should have known that he should not have tried out for the society because he knows what he did.
You should have known, dude. And then you're talking, right? Somebody knows. Somebody back in the day knew this stuff was going
Stop
on.
talking. God damn. That was the other thing. Like, okay, so one of the
He was
problems I have
bringing her flowers after he got his little medal, man. You know, you don't think
That's
the
the
other
thing.
agents would see
I
this
was like,
stuff?
he is known to have like, okay, so he when they go to the place in the very, very beginning and they're getting all the people onto the truck to get them out of the camp, she goes in there and she zip ties him after everything, all the boner stuff.
Yep.
And then they know there's no way that they're gonna let him be the person who's in charge of her
Yeah.
like stuff. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And that's all fucking on record. That's all on record. Like at one point in this movie, the guys from the St. Nicholas Society are like, "Well, it was all buried," and it's like, how could it be fucking buried? He's all over the place with this person.
And obviously, you secret society bastards, which is probably not true. Y'all didn't do your homework with this one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should have vetted y'all like initiate, more
Well,
clearly.
like you can't just trust someone to tell you the truth if they want something from you
You know what really got me
in
with
that
them was
situation.
when they were like explaining how their society works, like you will have more money than you will ever need to know, and all this other
Yeah,
stuff.
and like you're not special.
And I was like, damn, right.
You're
There's
not
nothing
smart.
extraordinary about you, but you're superior. I'm like, God, I hate these motherfuckers so bad. I hate these white supremacist piece of shits. Anyway, moving forward. So, they take the daughter. They actually get her, right? And but I love the scene when the lady came, like D'Angelo, when she just showed up and she was like,
And we love all the code talking. Well, I
Yeah.
do. I just assume
Yeah.
you do too.
I do. I was very disappointed that the daughter kept her phone instead of like
I know, like, and I
you
think
saw how real this shit was, and then you're gonna
right.
like
I think that at first, when she was kind of like, "Oh, my dad's just like," she really didn't really believe her dad. Probably she thought he was just
Yeah.
a paranoid guy. But then when a person shows up and knows all the code words, and that your dad always told you to trust that person, and then that happens, and they ask you if you have your phone, just be honest. Like,
Yeah.
what do you even need your phone for?
And I wonder why the trans kid
Yeah,
like
that
cracked.
guy,
Why did
I'm
she
sorry,
crack?
the non-binary person.
Right.
Why did they rat her out?
It was over, dude. They weren't gonna do nothing to you,
Right.
you know?
They turned back around and they were like,
Yes.
actually,
Yes. And I'm like, that wasn't even necessary, bro. Oh, damn.
so like
Right?
they call and like whatever.
Hey,
But like, so
hey,
here's the
hey,
thing. So
real quick, Tiff, her friends, they held the line, boy. They was
most
all
of them,
like,
yes, they were like, she doesn't have a phone.
they held the line, Tiff. I was proud of them.
I don't even know her.
I know. And then all of a
So
sudden, wait, what you waiting for?
no,
was-
wait, get out.
was
They're
over.
taking you out. They're taking you home.
Yes.
So he finds out that his daughter's been taken, and this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. He got really high because she's at the dance, and he's probably like, "Oh,
Oh, he was trying to
he's got his little
over.
movie on. He's getting ready to relax. He's got that robe, and then he gets that fucking phone call. He can't remember any of the code, but he remembers like a little bit of the code
And he
speak.
never stopped smoking the weed the whole time. He says,
He
"Yep,
can't remember. He
the help."
can't remember. He's like, they're like, well, and then it's like, so he answers some of the questions, and it's like, you guys, I can't remember them verbatim, but it's like, where does the nightingale rest? And it's like, wherever the sunshine isn't. Like, it's all these weird like responses that don't make any sense.
Well, it
So
got
then he's
to
like,
the
what time
question,
is it?
what time is it? Right.
And he doesn't fucking remember because it's been, 15 years, and he's like he said, I smoked and drank, I rotted my brain away. I don't remember any of this shit,
Let's preface everybody to let you know though that a bounty hunter, scary ass bounty hunter, showed up and took one of the technology guy, and they
Yeah.
said federal prison, or
Black
they blackbagged him in
Hood.
front of those kids. I thought it was so smooth. Those kids was like part of the movement. They got in there right in with the code. I was like, damn, the kids.
Yes,
Is
the kids, and then they said it to repeat. It's like the whatever, he was a bird, some kind of bird.
I thought they was going in there to loot the house. Is what I thought they
But
were doing.
they were just like, and then they play it, and then they play it on the loop, so everyone knew.
Because
And then
basically this organization transformed into like I don't want to say human trafficking because that's what the
like an
opposition
underground
was.
railroad.
It was like an underground railroad for for undocumented, and so it was big and it was organized. And lo and behold, so your boy scrambles out of the house. He finally gets himself
In
together.
the road, he's flapping around. He's flapping.
But he finds Sensei, and Sensei, I had no idea that Sensei was so smooth. You know what I'm saying? He went.
That's
Got
what
a
I'm
lot
saying. So
more.
Benicio del Toro steals the show here, and I can't. That's why I say I can't say if it's like the great acting or if it's just this character itself, which I guess is maybe sometimes the same thing. But he's like, relax, I'll get you a gun. And then he's like, he steps on. He's like, he's doing all the stuff. And he steps on the mat, and he's like, get off the fucking tatami.
Yeah.
And he's like, because this guy, because even if his daughter hadn't been abducted, he's a fucking mess.
But did
So
you
he's-
realize how they did this, Tiff? They did his thing was one cut.
Yes,
The camera never left him, and I thought that was so
Crazy.
slick the way they
Very
shot
slick.
every time when they shot him, they did
They're
the one
moving
cut thing.
around.
Exactly, and I was like,
This
This
is
is
looking
dope.
good. It looks good. It looks cool. So it's the town has been like overrun because
set
they're
ablaze.
looking. So they're looking for him, but it doesn't matter. Everyone is collateral damage. So like when he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I brought this to your door," and Benicio del Toro is like, "Hey, this is like the war never stops. Like it doesn't really matter. So what we need to
Right.
do is everyone's got to move. So we have plans. We have plans. You have another plan. You can help do this. We'll help you do that. But we're going to do this part." And so
But
then
he barely explains this shit, which is
No,
hilarious to
he's
me.
just
You
like,
know, like
and he's trying to get on the fucking phone, and he's like, use my phone. He's like, I can't use your phone.
come with me. I mean, that was basically his instructions. It was like nothing. He's going crazy. I love the conversation with the operator on the other line.
Yeah, he's just being like, so the guy's like, I can't help you. And
Yeah.
he's like, and you're like, what does he say? Like, you're encroaching on my personal
space,
or
right?
whatever. And then he gets so fucking pissed off at him. And then he's like, let me talk to your manager. I know, because they get upstairs and there's this whole so there's all these places within the city, one of which is like a grocery store that has like a back end to it.
Hey, Tiff, I like how they had the political agitators, the cops come out like they're political agitators and like started the riot happening, like, because we saw all that shit during Black Lives Matter, and it was always like, oh, they're out there looting. No, motherfucker, you guys are literally got people dropping off bricks in the middle of nowhere and stuff, So I thought that was cool when they showed it. I was like, yeah, show it, keep it real.
They did show it, yes.
Oh, yes, they did.
And then that's weird, like that this movie keeps that doesn't keep it in the background, but it's a thing that's happening in the background, and these other people are reacting to like what is happening. So we've got these folks coming in and they're saying, okay, we've been living here, but we knew that this day would come. Everyone's got to go. So we've got them coming out.
It was prepared. And I love the little Kung Fu fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I was like, I love these dudes, man.
So we've got like him on the phone, and then he finds like, let me talk to your manager because I know you have a manager. And then they find out, hey, this is the guy. This is Ghetto Pat or whatever they call him.
Right.
And then they're like, you should respect him because he did a lot of stuff for the French
Oh
75 or
no.
whatever.
That dude went hard on that dude, man.
Yeah, he was like, and you apologize.
I was
When we get
like,
back on the phone. So then
that's
he gets
cool.
back on the phone and he's like, I fucking told you and stuff. And then he finds out where they took his daughter, which was to the cloister, to the nunnery or whatever that's like up in the hills. But like, yes, Benicio del Toro briefly has to like, he's like, I have to get these people to the church. That's the drop point, whatever. You go with these like 3 skateboarder boys and they'll take care of you.
And the fucker fell off the roof, Tiff.
When
Holy
he fell off the roof, Montego, if I would have been in a movie theater, I might have, for the first time in my life, said, no way. No fucking way. You guys, he falls, and the only reason he doesn't fucking break his ass and die is because he falls through a tree.
But Tiff, he got fucked up. I was
He
like,
did,
oh,
and then he just around the corner, just tased immediately. Tased immediately. And then they
should have known. Them kung fu boys should have known that old
he
man.
wasn't gonna slow down.
He was like smoking
He's
weed
85.
every day. You know, he couldn't keep up with y'all ass.
And then they call Benicio del Toro. And they're like, he fell. And
Yeah.
he's like, what do you mean? They're like, he fell. He fell.
But this character here, Sensei, was such a powerful man who was such a humble man. He had a lot of power, Tiff. He had that whole neighborhood wired up, man. They had tunnels, they had escape routes, they had trucks, and then he actually had him being smuggled out of custody. And I was like, damn.
That was so shocking because he was like, they're like, do you have diabetes? And he's
She's
like,
look at me, sir. Look at
do you have
me.
diabetes? And then she's like, this. And he's like, yes. And then she's like, have you had your insulin today? Shaking her head. And he's like, no. And she's like, okay, I can't take him here. He has to go to the thing. So then they get him through there. He like escapes. The nurse comes in and is like, unlocks his wristlet, his handcuffs, his wristlet. And then he goes through.
We all like
fucking and then his wristlet is his fashion bracelet.
right.
They like run through the back of the house, of the hospital, and goes down the fire escape, where he is once again saved by Benicio del Toro.
And he's just like going through his phone like this is not a jailbreak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's always handing him a beer. They're drinking like what, Miller. Are you drinking the same thing that they were drinking?
No, they were drinking Modelo.
Modelo's. They were drinking Modelo's.
Yeah,
You're right. So drinking Modelo's, and they're both of them having a road sody.
Yeah,
they're driving
in that little shitty car, and the cop when he was drinking when the cop passed him, I was like, oh
yes.
God.
Okay, so this is probably one of the parts of the
really
movie where I laughed the hardest, where he was like, "You're gonna have to tuck and roll," and he's like, "Okay," and so he gets out, and then he's like, "On the count of 4, you gotta let go," and he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4. He does not let go,
Right.
and Benicio del Toro's like, "Let go," and he just does it, and I was like, "Burp," and he just goes flying out of the car. I laughed so hard.
It was pretty good.
Like these people are like no fucking nonsense. They are
So
like,
while
I told you get out.
so while all these antics is going on, some serious shit is going on because I don't know why that guy felt it necessary. You know, so she goes to the nunnery, and the head nun is like, you know, Sister Teresa's like, your mother was a rat, you know, and didn't explain anything. And so the Deirdre, she had to explain, you know, that her mother was a rat, but it didn't matter because her father wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they've been there for Pat for the whole year. He's still been part of the movement. Everybody who was anybody in that movement who didn't get nabbed that day all got smuggled to different lives and stuff, you know, and so they were protecting her, but I don't think it would have. I'm not so sure how long they would have tolerated her. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know because they wasn't feeling her, you know.
And then it all happens really fast, like within a day or two.
Right. And so old boy catches up with her. Sean Penn characters, Lockjaw. He catches up, they find her, and then he does this secret DNA test. And Tiff, I was literally sitting there like, please don't let him be.
Right. And I think that's part of the small geniuses of this movie is that like clearly we hope that that's not her dad.
But she looked more like him than she did Leonardo
Yeah, they do
DiCaprio.
a lot of really good small subtle things, and then you're like, okay,
Yeah,
that's how
yeah.
it is. But like, they don't make a big deal of it because she says, "You mean it doesn't fucking matter what that says because I have a dad and it isn't
I,
you."
li- I like that, and I also like that she wasn't a victim. Like she fought every chance she got to try to
Hmm.
even under futility. That she was just like, hell no, I'm getting the hell out of this. And so she tried, man. She kept trying. And it was so amazing to me how none of these agents like really was questioning what he doing alone with this young
Yeah,
girl.
why does
Like y'all just don't give a fuck like that. You know what I'm saying? It made me really uncomfortable. And I'm like, well, these is like supremacists. Like, I don't know if these guys were in on the know. I know they didn't know about the Christmas Club, but I wasn't sure
right?
if they was like okay with just being like pieces of shit. Because what are you doing in there with her alone like this? And why is this whole thing? You know, he told them that this whole thing is a cover. We're gonna do all this bullshit to get these two people, and then like she's like some kind of terrorist. Gets in the car. Old dude tried to take some shots at him. I'm like, what was the plan here? He had no plan.
No plan.
So he's being hunted and she's being hunted, and
Yeah,
Leonardo,
it's a cat, mouse, cat, mouse, cat, mouse. There's like a train of cats and mice. So
which I
like,
thought was gonna not work, Tiff, because I'm like, no way in the world, because it's so much division here. You know what I'm saying? And this guy can't save himself, let alone save this girl, right? I'm like,
so much divine intervention happened that did lead to like them being able to like not only like you said like her own and like ability to like keep going when things were like almost pretty hopeless.
yeah.
I
So
think sorry.
it's all good. He,
So sorry.
so he tries to have the half native guy murder her. Like he ain't fucking around. And he's like, no, I don't do kids. Fuck you. We'll take her to
Yeah,
this
and he's
place.
like, yeah, take her to this place where basically I think the idea was take her to this place where someone else will do it.
Oh, they were going to kill her. Like she
Yeah.
wasn't even a person to them. They didn't even look at her. They could give a shit. They called her the body when she got there.
Yeah.
And they all started
And
robbing.
then that guy was like, you know what, this isn't right because
Yeah.
I basically killed her if I brought her here to be killed.
Yeah.
So he comes and he just kills everybody. And then he gets killed in the process.
Yeah, which I was hoping that he wouldn't. I was like, you going in there with that shotgun, which is a good gun to go in there because you don't even have to aim it. You just point in that direction. And he shot the dudes up, but then he ain't come out. She's trying to start the car smartly, with the thinking he might have been close enough, but if you don't get in the cars, baby, they ain't gonna start.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking she trying to like take her cuffs off. This chick found a gun. I'm like,
Yeah, she laid on the ground and pulled the cuffs up,
yeah,
got out of them, and then she's driving with them on and she gets the keys. She's got a gun,
yeah,
like you said, and she like gets the keys. And then the Christmas man,
yeah.
and this makes sense. I like how like in a normal movie I'd be like, why would this guy give a shit? But he gives a shit because Sean Penn can't be in the Christmas Men or whatever they're called.
And they told him,
but he knows about it, so he has to be killed.
Now I thought that he would have hired some people. I didn't.
No, he's on his own. He does it himself.
Yes, I was like, damn, you're the executioner. God damn,
Yeah.
that's pretty deep.
Hey, you guys, he blows. He's like, and then gets him, and the car just flies off the road.
So he shoots him in the face with a shotgun. Now,
Yeah.
I know guns.
How?
The man would not have had a head after that.
Right.
just letting you-
That when he's okay. So some stuff happens, whatever. Right. The other guy also dies, and then they're reunited. But then the Leonardo DiCaprio and his daughter are reunited. Then we see that Lockjaw has survived, and I was like, just like you, I was like, no fucking way.
But Tiff, don't go over that scene that fast because it was a pretty intense. You talk about intense.
Yes.
This was the whole following of the cars. You had 3 cars following one another.
Yes.
They were using the hills to reveal them to get closer and closer every time they went over a hill. I've never seen that in a movie before, and I thought that was some dope shit.
Yeah.
She stops the car. I'm like, why, dummy? Just keep driving, dummy. Just keep driving, dummy. Because personally, I still think it was a bad idea. I would have not gotten out of that car. The car was fast. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She didn't know where she was going though, so maybe that was the reason.
And I also think that she thought, like, eventually,
Well, she was smart. She was smart enough to see that those hills were concealing them for a
right,
moment.
concealing them.
I wasn't even thinking about it like that,
Right. Because
So
I
she's-
also wondered why she stopped. And then we see that the guy, the Christmas man, I'm sorry, I'm sure he has a name, plows into the back of her car.
Oh man,
And
he actually should have been dead from hitting
yeah,
that.
he probably should have at least passed out, but he manages to get out, and she shoots him because she starts saying like there's like a beginning to the code word, which is like 3 shows. It's like Green Acres,
Yep, yep,
Hooterville Junction, or whatever they are,
yep,
whatever it is.
yep.
And he says, "What are you talking about?" And that's how she knows that he's not a part of the underground. And so she just shoots him, which I appreciate. I'm sorry, my nose is just.
Let's
I
go.
appreciate because
She
there's a
suits
lot
him.
of movies where they fuck around. They fuck around with some nonsense where it's like,
Or,
well, maybe I
or
shouldn't
it's,
because I don't
ah,
know.
I never shot
Yeah,
anybody.
boom.
Ah.
She
No,
shoots him, but he
she's like,
must have been
pow.
wearing like a Kevlar or something.
No, he wasn't wearing shit. She
Well, he didn't
shot
go
him.
down though.
But he got shot. I mean, your body can still. I mean, it wasn't a kill shot when she shot him.
Yeah.
So she shot him, and then she just unloaded. Taka 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 taka
Yeah.
taka. I was, and she knew how to shoot. The daddy taught her because she was shooting that shotgun like her mama was. Just, I mean,
Hmm.
that machine gun with the nurse.
Yeah, it's at
With
the
the,
nuns.
and she can shoot and she can shoot straight. So she shot him. Dad comes over the corner. I guess she was in shock with
Yeah, I think she also couldn't see that well, right? And she's probably you're all keyed up. So she says the thing again, and he says the correct response,
yeah.
and then they just reunite, and it's very you're like, God, you fucking feel relief.
And I'm glad the movie wasn't over then because a lot of directors would have made the mistake of just ending the movie right there, and it didn't. There had to be some closure because I wasn't sure if old boy was still alive or not. I would have put probably a kill shot on him if I was a daddy. Would have been hanging on.
Yeah, like he pokes him, but a double tap would have been fine if he's already dead. If not, he's
Would have
dead
been perfect.
now.
I would have did it, but there he is walking down the street, and I'm sitting there like tough little bastard. You know what I'm saying? So he's walking down the street, and then the next thing we see that his face is all destroyed. I was like, ooh, well, there goes some special effects. Those are
Yeah.
practical
Oh
effects.
yeah. So maybe that's where the 100 million went right there.
So
Uh,
he's sitting up there, and he can, and they saying they're letting you into the Christmas club, and I was surprised. He was like, I was surprised.
Because the other guys knew. That guy
Yeah.
knew. But of course, I didn't foresee what was about to happen because I'm an idiot. But I
Okay,
was like,
I didn't see it until he said I need to go get my keys. He was showing them around the place, and I was like,
oh,
something's
sure.
up. I was like, but they're not gonna kill him in his office because why would they do that? It's too much DNA about to happen up in here. And then the gas, it was
Gas.
hissing, and they got his ass, but they
And they
disposed
just
of
put him in
him
a
right
garbage suit. Or
in
garbage chute. Just,
the incinerator in the building. So
hmm.
must be what y'all do. Y'all must
Do you
have
really
that.
want to be a part of the Christmas club?
I don't know sure if I would want to be sitting around with the dead
No.
bodies being burnt. It only take one person to see
Maybe
this
at my
thing.
office. Like, yeah, like you're sitting by your office and someone just about you'd be like, I'm gonna go home.
Unless they have so much money that this is all they do at this place. Is have an empty building where they just kill people at.
I
It's like,
guess.
they supposed to be the elite in the country. They, the Musk and
Yeah, the
the
secret, like the people who are so rich that really nothing can stop them.
exactly. That's who they're supposed to be. And so, so we watch him burn up, and that was very satisfying. I was like, wonderful. So then we see our heroes, and I can't believe they was living back in the same house.
Back in that dump.
No, no, no. She escaped federal custody, right?
Yeah.
According to, or did she? Maybe those
That's the
guys.
thing. It's maybe off the record, so there is no official record of her. And she was never actually booked. He took her.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I think there's some loopholes there. So then
Cliff, I
she's
wouldn't have went back to that house. I'm just telling you, that
no,
house would have
because
been
they
burnt.
know.
The
They
house would have been
know.
burnt. Yep. Yeah, but he looks pretty sober until you saw the liquor on the table. Like, he was sitting there,
Yeah.
had a glass of liquor, but he wasn't high. He looked like he shaved up a little bit, a little bit. He cleaned up a little bit,
Yeah.
and it definitely seemed like some town. And she had a smile on her face. He was not on her nerve. Their relationship was way better at
Way
this point.
better.
He gives her the letter of her mom, and did I want this was it true redemption?
It wasn't even really redemption. It was mostly just like, I'm sorry and I think about you all the time. Maybe someday I'll see you again.
Yeah, fuck her. She ratted everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what she was doing all that time. So I wasn't feeling it. I was like, for the young lady, I see it, that would have been important.
Right.
I just hope that she don't, open shit back up and like, this chick, end up meeting up with her and stuff like that. Because She's a super duper. Is she a fugitive from justice though?
Yeah,
Is she?
she
Because
was. She's in Mexico,
she ratted everybody out. She did her part. I mean,
but she was supposed to stay in that house. That was probably conditional,
no, maybe, that's
and
what I was
probably not,
thinking.
and not leave the country. That's probably for sure.
Well, but she never could. I know she would never want to show her face up to her old colleagues because
Hell
that
no.
that would be a death sentence. I know, look how they were talking about her, So, yeah, you can't never come back here. That's for sure. Probably for both reasons. So,
And then she's
you know,
going off to a protest.
yeah, she hugged her dad. I like the fact that she was going off to a protest and he was like, he was trying to be protective, but
Yeah, and he was like, stay safe. This is like important.
well, shit, she saved herself from that last
Right.
ordeal. So she's definitely a capable young woman, and all you did was arrive to give her a ride at that point. But but the fact that he was out there looking for her said everything. And had
Hmm.
got really close. Gotten he probably would have got himself killed though.
And I like that we never, like, she never told him, because it's none of his business, basically, that she's biologically not his.
Oh, she didn't even give a shit when she heard that
Nope.
shit. She like,
Because she's not.
you
That's not my dad. You are not my dad.
no racist piece of shit. And again, I don't understand the mama even messing around with this dude, man. I'm just like, damn, I would have never saw that happen. What the hell was that about? It was so weird, so weird. But I guess she was fetishy. I mean,
There
basically
was
want to
some
drop.
like big fetish, big
She want
fetish.
to drop her drawers in the middle of an explosion and stuff
Yeah,
like that, and the cops is
yeah.
gonna be coming. What are you doing? So anyway, man, superb film, superb film.
Here's the thing about this movie. I still am gonna be pissed off if Sinners doesn't win
Oh yeah, it's not
Best
better than
Picture.
Sinners. No, no,
And here's the
it's
thing:
not
they must have known what I was doing, because as soon as this movie ended, it started playing Sinners.
really.
That was
Oh
like, how like if you don't get it turned off, it just starts playing something for you.
yeah, yeah,
Sinners
yeah.
started playing, and guess what I did? I had to go somewhere because I was finishing it up. I had to go somewhere, but I was still like,
Watching it, right. Yeah, Sinners is mesmerizing, and
I might
you
watch it this afternoon because I got a little taste. Now I
you
gotta
see
finish.
those films there that they don't come around often, but when they come around, they're good. The last time I felt like a movie was that good was The Batman. I couldn't take my eyes off of
Hmm.
Robert Pattinson's The Batman. I was just like, this is so fucking good, Instead, I was like, this is so good,
And
So
I worry that Sinners will not win because of the existence of this movie, which is not a bad movie. Do you know
it
what I
wasn't.
mean?
It wasn't better than Sinners. It was a superb
Right.
film, but it just wasn't better.
But the Academy often makes poor choices, in my opinion.
Because they're full of a bunch of racist bastards. Let's be real about that too. They've had a race problem for 100 years, so you know,
Yeah, a lot of times I do think that they're like, well, we nominated.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, you know.
So
And
like
then
I take it all with a grain of salt. I'm interested in seeing like some of the, but like I think there's even a lot of movies that, like, so many indie movies, so many movies that we don't even get to hear about normally,
well, and
that clearly.
look how many movies they have nominated this year. It's not like it's 4 movies. It's a ton of them, and I'm like, damn, do they normally do this much? It's a lot of movies. I'm like, ugh. And I didn't see a
I
lot of them. So.
I think that there should be some overhauling of, like, um I don't know how that you would make it better. I mean, other than, diversifying your nominations. But, like, I don't know if there should be a limit to how many categories a movie can be nominated for, cuz sometimes when you watch it, it's like
So here's
the
the
same
problem.
5 movies are nominated for every single category.
That's true. So here's the problem with the Academy. It's not about even diversifying because people think that's a mercy hump. When you saying we're trying to like look at diverse movies, and it is a mercy hump.
I don't even necessarily mean like diversification of, like, I'm talking about like more different varied kinds of
Well, what
movies.
I'm saying is that's how they think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's when they're doing that, they're purposely doing that, and it's bullshit. All that implicit bias that people have lives in your heart, and it's just like when you're hiring different people. Every team I've ever worked for has always been extremely diverse, and I don't even try it. I don't try to make it a diverse team. I always hire the best person for the goddamn job. And guess what happens? It turns into a rainbow every single time, man. Every single time. And because people they don't give a shit, to make sure that they're doing, you know, they're not just doing just like us. It always turns out to be the same type of shit. You know, some shit that nobody even cares about. They be like, oh, that one, you know, this movie. And you're like, yeah, the movie nobody gave a shit about, right?
Right.
People
And I
love it
also
so much
think
that they didn't go to see it, right?
right. And I also think that sometimes with the Academy, they try to overcorrect and they are
Yep,
nominating movies that aren't even good because they
yep.
want to put in like some like they want to be
Oh,
like, "Oh, don't
look,
we don't
I'll
want to be."
I'll say it out loud, Tiff. When Halle Berry won her Oscar for that bullshit, that Monsters Ball, whatever the hell that movie was, where she was messing around with Billy Boy, that movie sucked ass, and her performance wasn't shit. But it was at the time where they was like, yeah, we need to diversify, and I was like, shit. Of all the shit that has happened, you didn't deserve it for that. You know, that movie was just
And the thing
terrible.
about it is, there's so much that you could do it
Yep,
for and
yep,
not have to worry about it being
yep.
anything. And and what I'm saying is when I want to diversify, I mean like it's crazy that it took until was it like 3 years ago when Parasite won Best Picture that it was a foreign film that won Best Picture. That's
Yeah,
fucking wild.
yeah.
There's
That was a good movie.
thousands of movies released every year. There's
That was a
thousands of movies released every year and you're trying to tell me that the best movie released this year wasn't just some random American movie?
I know. So, Tiff, I think we came here to do the damn thing and we got it
We did
done.
it.
We had a good time watching this one, and I believe we were live the whole time, so that's good. So all I got to do
We
is
did it. We did it and we did it.
that's right. So, man, I'm the host of Fantasy Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my wonderful co-host, Miss Tiff Bots. Say goodbye to the people, Tiff.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Next week we do have something on deck. We're gonna hit F1 next week.
F1, and I'm gonna start it early, so it's not like
Yeah,
4 hours long.
yeah, because I don't know how long it is, so we'll
It's
see.
we looked it up, 2 hours 35 minutes.
Oh, so it's
So
another.
yeah, so get ready.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all. Until next week, man. We will be
On
on
patrol.
patrol.